When you should always have business cards on you, and whenever, like I say, you need to make notes for somebody, you make a note on your business card, and then you hand them the note. This way. This gives you another excuse to use your business cards. So, and my business card, I've got on there. One of the things is I'm an adventurer, and that's the one thing that really I've noticed that it catches people's eyes when they see adventurer on that. And that just when they see that, I give them the card, and one of the first words that they see is adventurer. And when they see that, how many adventurers do you know? And the adventurers that you do know, how many of them advertise the fact they are an adventurer? So, in other words, just that word on my card, they will look at it. They always, when you give them the card, they'll always glance at it. And like I say, that's one of the first words that they'll see. And and the other part is no stress. So stress is the part that they see. That's the first thing. And then everybody's got stress, so that catches their eye. And then they look at the next thing that they see is I'm an adventurer. And all this brings up conversation. So in other words, your business card, if done properly, just the business card itself will make you stand out. And like I say, it will, like in my case, stimulate conversation. Because if you're anything like me, conversation is tough. I have a hard time finding the right words to talk about. And that, like I say, it takes practice. And but one thing that I can talk really well, and that is about myself. And so I can bring the focus to me. And you have to remember, I'm a lot of times in a situation where few people speak the language that I speak. So so I don't need to talk a lot, but what I do need to say needs to be important enough that when I say it, then they will take these words and translate it to everybody else. And all this is the same thing. It's telling people I'm not the same as the other gringos. I'm not the same as anybody else. So these are things that make me stand out. And like I say, so your business card, it's telling people what it is I do. And you want them to know that because I am somebody. And that business card is telling them I am somebody. So I am standing out. We're right back to the standing out part. Okay. This is one of the tough ones, and that is being friendly and being firm. Up to now I've kind of mentioned a lot about being in a social setting, but not always. I'm in social settings. So like I say, when I'm on the street, when I'm traveling, this type of stuff, I'm real friendly, and for all kinds of reasons. The main reason is I'm a friendly kind of guy. I mean, why wouldn't I be friendly? It doesn't cost me anything, and it used to be being friendly, they looked at me as being weak, and that opened me up to being victimized. This is why I put friendly and firm together, because I've learned I'm really friendly. I guess I'm more friendly than most folk. And so, well, I guess again, I'm from Oklahoma, and Oklahoma folk are known for being friendly. So, so I'm real friendly. And it's funny because when the situation gets a little funny, you can see my friendliness starts coming down. And then once I'm so friendly that when the friendliness starts evaporating, people take notice. They already know there's something not right. When I'm not friendly, I'm so friendly, it's enlightening to others, I'll put it that way, because they're not used to seeing people as friendly as me. So then once I start losing that friendliness, then they start looking at me a little different, you know. And then, so very seldom I need to go into complete firmness, but I do. Like I say, if the police are stopping me and they're going through my papers, I'm friendly, I'm nice, I'm really good. And then once it turns to the part where I know that they're trying to hit me up with bribes and stuff like that, then my voice changes and the friendliness pretty much comes to the end. So, they can tell. They can tell that the friendly Mike is no longer there. That no stress Mike has turned to stressful Mike. And I'm fixing to put stress on him. So it is apparent. So you have to be friendly and cordial to everyone. I do it anyway. On the motorcycle, I would wave and be nice to everybody because, you know, a few hundred yards down the road, my motorcycle might break, and I'm going to be walking back to these same people looking for help. So it's a whole lot easier if I was friendly to them in the first place. So friendly and firm. Know the difference and know when to use them. Okay, humor. I have found humor works in all levels of being around humans. I use humor all the time. In a social setting, I use humor. You know, I talked about my eye falling out. I just started that. That's another one. And so I look for ways to project humor in all of the situations I get into. I talk about when the bandits or rebels, they have me stopped. They got guns pointed at me, and I'm going around Dolores, you know, Dolores Pain, and I'm walking around them looking for somebody with pain, and I'll find somebody with pain, and they're laughing at me because I don't have enough sense to be scared, and because they're robbing me. So, but I say, I'm not going to give you any money. So we have two ways of doing this. Either I'm going to give you the money, in which I'm not. So the other way means I'm going to have to hurt you. I don't really want to hurt you either. So I'd much rather get along with you. Remember I said, we're trying to stand out in a positive manner. And one way of doing that is helping people. And so when I'm doing all this, it's funny to watch me doing all this stuff. And it's humorous. But like I say, I am looking to help them. That's the one thing I am. My Hoi Chi skills have allowed me to help people. And that when I help people, it makes it easier to get along with people. So it's and so is the humor. So I use the humor to open the door where I can help them. Humor, when you use humor, everybody relaxes. And as they relax, they open themselves up to whatever it is that's going on. And it'll, in the way of the bandits, when you're using humor and you're opening them up, you are getting their minds off of what it is that they stopped you for in the first place. In other words, they stopped me to victimize me. Now their mindset is off the being victimized. And if it's, well, I understand that's an extreme, but it's the same thing applies to people in the waiting office. I mean, if you're in the office and you're in the waiting room, and you can make humor, you make everybody relax in the waiting room. And do the same thing when I'm walking down the street. I look for ways to project humor, and that leads to another thing. One of the other things you may want to consider is magic. You don't need to learn a whole bunch of magic. It's funny because I'm from the Tulsa area, and they have a magic club, and I go to the magic club when I get a chance. And it's funny because, well, I go to any magic club that I find, and it's funny because when you come into a magic club, the first thing, they welcome everybody to coming in. They do. And they always ask me, well, what kind of magic you do? And they're talking about stage magic, close-up magic, sleight of hand. You know, they're talking about all kinds of magic. And I always tell them self-defense. And it's funny because nobody's ever heard of self-defense magic. And what have I told you? And I've showed you in my videos. It's a magic that I use to defend myself. It really is self-defense magic. And but I also learn magic that is just plain fun and funny. And so I apply the magic, just some little, you know, making coins disappear and this type of stuff. Some little simple stuff, stuff that puts a smile on people's face. So magic, and it's fun to learn. I even have that on the list of the three-man militia stuff. I mean, the three-man militia, you know, is made up of all different kinds of skills and abilities. And one of these skills and abilities is magic. And the reason magic is on the list, it's the principles behind magic. The illusion. You learn how to project illusions, and that's what I'm talking about in this video. How to stand out. It's the illusion of standing out, and so that's why magic is an important thing to pick up on, and it applies a lot for standing out. I mean, how many magicians do you know of that are bad? You know, how many magicians you know of have a negative output? I mean, it's not. They're not like that. Somebody does magic, you automatically think they are a fun, nice person. So even some little sleight of hand on coins and little things like that is a valuable skill to have when it comes to standing out.